Hey, Hound Dogs, I'm David Hankins,
I'm Paul Hankins. I'm Trevor Hankins.
I'm Rachel Wells.
and we're going to talk about what was in our bags from Free Comic Book Day. So, um, did you read everything you picked up?
Sure did.
I did not read one of them. I started to read and it was just too hard.
Ugh.
Well, it was. I'll start off with this one. Uh,
Oh.
And it
Fabulous
was-
furry freak.
yeah, it was just a lot of little. It was just got to give me kind of a headache. The illustration.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And it just wasn't, So anyway, I did not.
Wall of runes.
Yeah, I just couldn't get into it. I had, as I was telling the boys earlier, when I was a kid, I'm older, way older, but my brother went to college and he brought back a Freak Brothers comic book or books, I forgot, and they were like kind of underground and kind of dealing with stuff that you didn't normally talk about or whatever, and so I guess that day is past as far as being rabidly curious about it. So I'm the only one that didn't read everything, I guess. So did you have a favorite book?
Well, I guess it's gotta be this one. It's Animal Castle. I mentioned last time it was the first one I read. We read it right after I got it because we stopped in a cafe. It is super interesting. Like, as you can see, the cover is like cool and painterly. That's what caught my eye, and it's basically Animal Farm, except like different, like in a castle. And it's a super interesting like story about basically Animal Farm. It's got like beautiful Disney inspired artwork. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's got I just love the art. I love the story. The only thing in this particular like issue is that it seems to like kind of jump around. I guess it's like cut up from like volume 2 is what it says here. But it kind of jumps around time, and I'm like, what's going on? But I'm definitely gonna have to buy the real one because I'm very intrigued by the story. It's definitely my favorite.
Well, then I guess that's what Free Comic Book Day is supposed to do. Get you want to read more.
It's true.
So it worked on you.
It's true.
Did anybody else read that?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
The cover caught my attention, but I wasn't sure about picking it up because it was volume 2.
Okay. Yeah.
I recommend it, honestly. I feel like I kind of got the gist of what it's about, even though it's volume 2. I don't know why they wouldn't do volume 1, but honestly, I was still interested, even though it's volume 2.
Okay. Anybody else have a favorite they want to talk about?
Let's see. Maybe
Okay.
The Last Comics on Earth.
Okay. What's it about?
Okay, it's related to the Last Kids on Earth book series that I got into while doing middle grade research, and it's an in-universe comic book created by the main characters.
Okay.
Aww.
So this is excerpt that's chapter 2, I think, but it's got the same style of humor, and they make it occasionally there's commentary from the characters. There's a part where it includes a picture that's cut out from a magazine, and it includes a comment that's like, ask before you cut from my magazine.
Okay.
And there's a thing at the back that was joining the Last Kids on Earth fan club, so I actually did it.
Okay, good for you.
It's free.
Trevor, do you have a favorite?
Think for me it would be I am probably so gonna butcher this name.
We're forgiving here.
Kotara, or however you pronounce it.
Okay.
Order.
Sounds about right.
It's was created by Dave Alvarez, who I actually looked into him. He has actually worked in animation before.
Okay.
It's. Do I need to describe what it's about?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about a Puerto Rican parrot, I think. Runs empanadia truck.
Okay. Empanadas. Yeah.
Yeah.
An empanaderia.
Those are good.
And this has like that. It's it. I don't know why it's it's got like that old school Warner Brothers energy.
Yeah, it kind of has that bright color
Yeah.
palette.
And it actually opens with something like that.
Okay.
I should have picked that up.
Oh, the Looney Tunes, yeah. All
In
right.
the corner of the main store, during the main story, in the corner is like a walk cycle. Go through the pages. There's a walk
Oh,
cycle.
he walks across the page. That's adorable.
Not exactly, but still.
Okay. I'll say, well, there was one, okay, I guess there's two books I picked up that I didn't read. One of them was The Best of the Mighty Marvel Backlist, which is basically just a catalog of things you can get from Marvel, which I was like, why is this free? You know, I guess that's why it's
Oh,
free
it's just a
content.
catalog?
Yeah, I was kind of, thanks a lot.
Oh, well.
But of the ones I picked up, which is one I actually won,
Ooh.
in a what do you call it, roulette sort of thing, is this, which I think Paul also
The Miles
got.
Morales?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually, a well-written comic book about,
Based on the logo, it seems like it was a Halloween comic fest leftover or something.
but whatever. But it was sort of, it probably was leftover. It says Halloween extravaganza. But, I mean, it's taking a familiar character, have a little bit of a twist to it, and, it's well done.
Yeah.
You kind of want to read more of it. So, I mean, it did what I think it's probably should have done back in October, but this was the best of the books that we got, I think.
Probably.
Yeah. So,
I was gonna say the twist in here made me vaguely think of Metal Gear Rising minus the harvesting brains part.
anyway, it was a well done. I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had another thing to mention.
Go
with
ahead.
This. This is also promoting. There's more stuff, and it's also promoting a graphic novel.
I guess these are usually pulled from graphic novels.
Yeah, I feel like I would of Arcana's catalog. I feel like I would read more of this
Okay.
more easily. The thing I got from that roulette thing, I picked this Spider-Man comic, Amazing Spider-Man. Just I guess to be different.
Uh-huh.
I think this came out like last year, I think.
That's what they're giving away for free, I'm sure.
And I'll be honest, I couldn't exactly follow what was going on, if only because it was it starts after I guess there was an event thing, and I don't know what it was, and kind of takes your knowledge of that for granted.
Okay.
Just like what
I figured that was all comics that come from the big two, right?
kinda, yeah. Just like what the movies do now.
You saw the previous ones.
And also expected you to read a couple of other unrelated books, because I probably should have picked Miles Morales.
I just thought that one was well done.
But it was only because of my lack of knowledge of the mainstream Marvel universe that I kind of got lost.
Okay.
Or I felt lost.
So I know there's a book that you and I both read about,
Yes.
which is basically a
Another
civics lesson.
That was another good one that I liked a lot. It's more educational. It kind of just goes through how the American government works, but I think we could all use a refresher.
Yeah.
And it does a good job of outlining the issues with the system while at the same time maintaining like a optimistic tone about making change within within the system, and I really liked it.
It has a little bit of a. It's not just pure education in some ways. I mean, it does go through how the government works and all that, but I kind of felt like, being a white man, I kind of felt like I was part of the problem that they were pointing out. So, but anyway, yeah.
I do like the art style a lot. I like the minimalist. What do you call it? Minimalist color palette, and I like this page in particular reminds me of a Katamari ball.
Which is what they were going for.
Yeah.
No, it does sort of tell you how the government works if you don't know, and so you probably could pass a basic civics class if you read this.
Yeah, I think it would be good in schools for sure.
Yeah. And it sort of, it does sort of give you the idea that we can overcome what's going on. But
yeah.
Yeah. Again, I got to the part about one of the problems with the government is too many white men. So I was like, oh, okay, that's me.
I think it's true. There's way too many white men in government. We need more. On the lower level, I think it's getting better in terms of representing what America actually looks like. But we need more diversity in government, especially in the higher levels. We need more young people, for sure.
Yes,
I think that's where this comic comes in. Like, it can appeal to the youths and maybe help them be more politically active.
Yeah, we do need people to. One of the things that I think I'd encourage you to do is vote, because that's how you make change, and that's how you get people into office that are going to think more like you do, and not just like. And I think part of the problem is the people at the very top of all the government stuff are it's a lot of, especially on the Republican side, a lot of white guys that don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if is this live?
It's
We're doing
live.
This is
Okay, I was gonna say, if anyone's watching from Philadelphia, we've got an election on Tuesday for mayor.
Oh,
Make sure y'all go vote. If you're watching this on Wednesday, you missed it.
Who's running?
Lots of people. It's a primary.
Okay.
It's a Democratic primary for mayor, but typically in our mayoral elections, whoever wins the Democratic primary wins the general.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Getting back on topic.
Okay, but we're talking about democracy.
Anyway.
She's talking about voting, so it's kind of part of the topic. But okay, we'll get back onto it. So what do you got, Paul?
I just don't like to get too
I know.
political on this
All
podcast.
right, we're not promoting anybody.
I know.
Vote for me. Vote me for mayor.
Okay, now we're getting political.
One of the things I picked up was this RuneScape book. It was more like it was just a tease for a larger graphic novel, or a 4-issue thing, and it at least explained where it was like a few pages, and then after that it was mostly this like lore and how they approached certain things to be in line with the game. I wasn't sure I would keep reading this, but
sometimes it seems
I didn't even think RuneScape had a story.
yeah, I didn't think so either.
Well, sometimes it seems like Free Comic Book Day is used for promoting things outside of comic books. You know, it's free. You'll pick it up, kind of a deal.
Well, there's a lot of licensed comics these days.
Oh, yeah.
And you could argue licensed comics are more or less just meant to promote whatever the licensed product is.
Yeah, well, but I mean, in this case, Trevor picked up one that was. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that one.
Speaking.
This is
Oh yeah, the
promoting M&M. I don't think there's a comic book series they're doing.
It was just like a one-shot type thing.
Yeah.
Really? There must be. I want that. I would buy that.
It's made to promote crunchy cookie M&Ms.
Yeah. So that's
Yummy.
So it's not surprising that RuneScape would do something, and
M&Ms will do something.
yeah. Basically, it's kind of free, so you'll pick it up and go, oh wait, M&Ms, I want some.
Granted, this wasn't like free comic book day related. But
Okay. Well, we got it a free comic book day.
yeah, it was like a free thing they had lying around.
It's all part of the pot. It was in your bag. It counted as your 5, probably.
Yes.
So, all right.
I was gonna say, was it a good story? Was it hard-hitting content?
It was alright.
It was very political. Okay.
It's like the M&Ms, like the green M&M was invited to this manor. She brought the other M&Ms with her, and they are investigating a mystery around the area.
Ooh.
Does anybody get eaten in the process?
No.
All right. What do you?
Amazing.
I will say this one panel here is like a prime example of an intro dump.
Okay. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. Or it's basically just saying characters and the personality.
Yes.
Rachel, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Let's see. I think my other favorite one, besides the two I talked about, was the Dogman comic, because I think you David mentioned earlier that one of your comics was a comic within a comic, and this one's also a comic within a comic.
Yeah.
It shows like the actual comic book, and then at one point there's like one of the characters plays a film. So it's a film within a comic within a comic. Thinking, how deep can we go?
Yeah.
Anyway, that was cute.
I'd actually been reading the Dogman series, borrowing them from the library. I got to like book 8, I think.
Okay.
So cute.
And this felt like in line with that. And their notes about the George and Harold's notes about the continuity made more sense to me.
It makes me happy when like artists and authors from my childhood still make stuff for kids like decades later. It just warms my little heart.
Okay.
Other than that, all the rest of them I read were just okay.
Also, Dogman number 11 is out now.
Ooh, that is so many Dogman books.
Yeah.
So, anything else you guys want to talk about? I have a couple more issues we haven't gotten to.
Well, what was in the rest of our bag?
Okay. I had the Archie Horror Presents The Cursed Library, which is scary at an Archie level. Nothing really ever
Like spoopy?
Nothing really seems to ever happen. They always cut away before anything gets anything. So it was sort of,
that's the real horror.
Yeah, the idea was
Dissatisfaction.
Yeah, they would introduce you to a story and you'd see it play out, and then they cut away to something else. It's like okay, or they go back. It was somebody in a library is reading you introducing you to these stories.
I gotcha.
Kind of like an old radio show in a way, where like they would the Inner Sanctum or something, where they would introduce you to this horror story, and yeah, it just the payoff was never there for me. It was never, it never got scary or anything. It just always sort of stopped before anything really happened.
well.
So it was kind of scary, as I say, at an Archie level. And some of the characters from the Archie comics are in it, so, but in more modern versions of them.
Right.
What else you got?
See, I also the Street Fighter 6 comic. It's 2 stories. One of them is just a short kind of fight between Juri versus Kimberly. Kimberly, I assume, being a new character introduced, and then the second story seems to be the backstory for the new character Luke. It was an interesting story. I don't really normally read Street Fighter comics, but I occasionally look at it on Free Comic Book Day just to see what they do with it outside the games.
Okay. There's some,
Other one I grabbed was I think you grabbed this also.
Yes, the Animal Crossing. I wasn't into it as much. It's kind of like it's a little more like slapstick and goofy,
It's
and
like,
I was kind of hoping for. Same with the Kirby one.
yeah.
Um,
It's like I'm aware that they're like gag manga, and I've read a gag manga before, and I still thought the two here were like a little too jokey, a little more jokier than I was expecting.
yeah,
Like
it was a little 80s comedy manga, but that's all right.
like-
I didn't pay any money for it.
it was like it was like too jokey. Even though it was a gag manga, it was too jokey for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how'd you feel about it, Rachel?
I'm mostly in agreement. Like, not my style.
Yeah.
And I guess I was kind of expecting Animal Crossing to have something chill and feel good, but
Yeah.
it is a comic. So I'll be asking for my money back.
It wasn't worth what you paid for it. You're trying to say.
Like the villagers in the Animal Crossing one, even though I'm aware it's a gag series, but they felt a bit like one-dimensional. Like,
Oh, you know what it is? You know what it is? The villager characters never speak in anything Animal Crossing. So now that they're speaking, it feels wrong.
yeah.
That's
I
what
can
gets
see
me
that.
about this.
All right. You have something else you want to talk about, Rachel?
Yeah, like I said, the rest of the comics picked up, I just feel kind of like about. So,
Well, we're here to discuss that too. If you
what?
we're here to discuss that too. So.
Yeah.
You can even just
But it
quickly
was
go
fun to
through
read them at least.
Okay. You just want to tell us what you got again?
What else did I get? I got the Animal Crossing, Nightmare Before Christmas. Let's see. Babysitter's Little Sister.
Yeah.
What you read that too?
Yeah,
This Rosa Parks comic.
You're very civic
Legend of
minded.
Korra. Oops. Uh-oh. I'm dropping things. Wand Dance. And Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, you had so many more than we did. So
I kind of want a little bananas.
you both read
this.
Babysitter's Little Sister.
Yeah.
and you saw it was man. What did you think?
I mean, it's meant for younger readers, so it's okay.
Yeah, we're the wrong audience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, at least the art was good.
Okay.
It is cute.
I also got this Sweet Valley Twins thing. Was curious about reading the full one because of the twin angle.
I was wondering, that's why you grabbed it.
Yeah. Otherwise, it seems to be an excerpt from Volume 2. I haven't even read Volume 1 or the first one yet. What was weird to me though was there was this poster in the middle, but it's in
Oh.
the middle and it still has comic pages on either side. Like on the other side, it's still comic page.
Yeah, I hate those.
At least you get a poster out of it if that's what
Oh, no. If
Like,
if you
just
finish the
destroy.
book,
It's like destroy the book to get it.
It also has a couple activity things in the back, like how to make a time capsule.
Aw, cute.
A couple more I had. One of them was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm going to admit, I didn't read like the 80s Turtles one because I personally don't care about the 80s Turtles.
okay.
I got it because of I got it for the Rise of the TMNT one.
Okay.
And is an excerpt from a comic that I didn't read, but they're promoting a full collection of it in the back.
So,
And I thought it actually kind of felt in line with the show.
okay. So, is it? Do you see the two different? I mean, there's an '80s and a more modern version. I mean, do you see them? I mean, are they drawing those styles? If I could just speak,
Yes.
is it interesting to see the juxtaposition of those?
Juxtaposition.
Again, I can't talk. Juxtaposition of those two.
Yes.
Okay, I just thought maybe different.
It's a more recent 80s Turtles one and an excerpt from Rise of the TMNT book.
So they have multiverse kind of going there.
Oh my god, Ninja Turtles multiverse? That would be wild.
It's like,
There was already a crossover between the 80s Turtles and the 2003 Turtles.
yeah.
So there is a multiverse.
I think the 2012 one, I forgot.
Right.
It's like, I watched 2 episodes of the 80s cartoon because it was on Usagi Yojimbo crossover. And I was like, what is this?
Anything else?
And the other thing I picked up was it's a Kodansha sampler, the Shaman King Flowers, and Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun. I thought the Shaman King one was well drawn. 'Cause, I like Hiroyuki Take's art, but I haven't actually read Shaman King, so I don't know everything about the backstory.
Right.
But I thought Iruma-kun was funny.
Okay.
Iruma-kun is precious. I recommend the anime. Shaman King, I read it as a kid, but not very far. And I watched the re-release. They redid the anime, and at one point we dropped it because it got kind of boring. I don't know what's going on with this new one. They have kids or whatever. It's like Boruto.
Well, so the last one I read was the Star Trek one, and it's 2 stories. Basically, they're both publicizing future, comic books. One of them is the Day of Blood, and the other one was Lower Decks. And I thought the Lower Decks one was kind of cute because you don't really know what happens to the unnamed people on these crews, and it's sort of their little story about them sort of trying to play like they're real important, or play how Captain Picard did it, kind of a deal. And they're lower level people, and So it was that was kind of cute.
Yeah. I've heard good things about Lower Decks, the show at least.
Yeah, and I think this was publicizing a comic book that you could buy. But
Yeah.
Lower Decks. Yeah, Lower Decks is a show. You're right. So it kind of was. It's kind of interesting to take a look at that side of life on a big ship. It's not all,
Yeah.
all heroes every time. Anything else we want to talk about?
I'm not sure. I guess the way to wrap it up is we went to a lot of different worlds, discovered things we may or may not want to read, and we learned the importance of voting.
Okay.
Did.
That wraps it
Also,
up.
support your local comic book shop.
Yes.
Yes.
About sums it up.
Very good job, Paul. All right.
So if you're watching this on YouTube and you like this, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and leave a comment if you have any thoughts on any of the comics that we talked about.
Tell us
or-
which books you read in the comments. If you didn't read any books, tell us that too.
Yes.
Just say something in the comments. That's what we're going for. All right. So until next time, which may be next year, I'm David Hankins,
I'm Paul Hankins.
I'm Trevor Hankins.
And I'm Rachel Wells.
and this has been What's in My Bag Part 2.